Welcome back to Part the Piece. We've got a new interview here. We'll crack them on open. I already cracked mine. Kind of forgot to do that, but already spilled, but we're ready to go.
This is only our first two.
Yeah, I know. Like, wait till we get like 4 down. Like, gonna be here for a while. Yeah, here we are. Yeah, thank you for waiting. For the people who are watchers and who do care about the show, do appreciate it. I've been a bit busy with a lot of things.
Yeah, like me, mate. You've been
Like
living
you.
down far out.
I know. Yeah, I've
I
been.
want to episode every week, mate. Every day, every week. Just keep coming.
If only. Triple J, text me back.
Yeah, Triple J. You're on this bloke show. I reckon that's.
Honestly, get me something on there. But yeah, very very excited. Today I've got my brother Matt. Welcome to the show, my boy. Thanks for coming on. Much appreciated. We're filming in Matt's apartment, but he just bought a house in Cronulla.
Yeah, well, apartment. It's not bad. I can't afford a bloody house.
Our apartment, yeah.
That's right. Yeah,
We'll take
it's
it.
much of a muchness, mate. It's a bed.
It's a bed. It's a bed. Yeah, for sure.
It's a toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. So we decided to film this in anticipation of one we've got actually filming in a couple of days or so. It's with Matt's girlfriend Taryn.
Yeah.
And today we're just going to go through a lot of what I guess Matt's experience as supporting someone with anxiety and just all the things that come with that. Obviously, you've been living with her for a couple of years and obviously been dating for much more than 5 years. I was trying to test you. I didn't know, yeah.
One as of the 22nd. I remember
22nd.
Remember that?
Yeah. Taryn, if you're watching.
Taryn, if you're watching.
I got it.
I forgot the first year, but I remember every other year since.
Yeah. So so I guess just I'm curious how, and obviously being a brother to me and seeing how I've dealt with mental health things over the years, but I guess first with Taryn, how has that been? What's the experience like? I guess like in a day-to-day type of thing.
In the trenches.
Nah.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know, day to day. I think it grew. It's definitely at the point in our relationship now. It's gotten to the point where I think you can anticipate a lot of it. Or it sort of become like, I don't know, almost second nature, But it's interesting in the honeymoon period, you don't really, I don't think she really showed that side of it too much to me.
Yeah.
And I suppose there were glimpses, and she probably mentioned it a couple of times off the cuff. About her eating disorder back in South Africa, which she managed to beat, and is still battling every day, obviously.
Yeah,
it's not
good on her that.
But by the time she came over to Australia, which was 7 years now for them.
Yeah.
I think by that time, I think she'd sort of gotten it under control. But yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of it's grown. It's probably gotten better with the trust.
Yeah. Between you and her.
Yeah.
As it goes. Yeah.
Because you'd have, I think in particular, if she's having a panic attack or something like that. It'll be, sometimes she'd have it, we'd be out on nights out, and with anxiety, just simmering under the surface always.
Yeah, it's always ready
to just pop up, just explode and whatever else. So, so I think previously, she wouldn't tell me.
Yeah.
Or she'd just disappear, go to the toilet.
Yeah, right.
Without sort of just telling me. And maybe I should have noticed that, but I suppose I haven't really been. I don't know. I've probably been trained now.
To kind of, you kind of, I don't know, not the word acclimatized, but you've just gotten used to what it's like.
Definitely got, and what the triggers are, and so I suppose, as compared to then to now, she'll tell me, or she'll call me, if she does have to blitz really quickly to the toilet, she'll call me when she's, in the bathrooms or wherever she's escaped to, or just sort of help talk her down, sort of thing, and just calm, weather the storm. But that's one example where it's gotten But yeah, I think it's a lot of it's knowing the person, knowing the partner, knowing their triggers, knowing everything, and it is a day-to-day. But yeah, so honestly, I reckon one of the things we're getting better at now is even just asking the question. We refer to it as the big A.
Yeah, right.
Big anxiety.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe we should diminish it to something else, like small, like little bitch ass. Little bitch ass.
We gotta demonize, not demonize anxiety, because anxiety can be. Anxiety can be. I saw this thing and it was just saying, it's like article and it's talking about how like athletes are able, they're full of anxiety. Obviously, they train all their lives for something, and even they can be even though they can be completely prepared for something, they're still, in the back of their mind doubting themselves, or they're still,
100%.
and there's a lot of studies going into like how they use their anxiety and how they make energy out of it.
Right.
Which is an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Especially like, because I'm sure if she like, and I know myself, if I wake up and I'm like completely anxious, it's like you got to put that anxiety somewhere. Like if it's going for a walk or some sort of exercise or some sort of breathing, I guess for me. But it's not always that simple. But it's just something where if you can put, it's weird. If you can put the anxiety somewhere, if you can put the emotions, get them out in some sort of way. It's just like a really, it kind of dispels some of the butterflies, and you get a bit more blood flowing in the body, because with anxiety it kind of just like freezes you, just kind of
100%.
immobilizes.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think I don't know, just getting out, going to the beach, going for a swim.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think slowing down is a big help. I know for me anyway, I get anxious, but it's mainly tied to work, and I don't get it. I'll have like a week's worth of it, and then I'll manage to strangle it down again, and it'll go away for, I don't know, hopefully, another 3 weeks, or total up a month.
So just 1 month.
I mean, that's what I've found for me. I think it's almost cyclical in a way. Like I let it sort of builds up to a point. Yeah. And then I'll go, and then I'm anxious. And then I'll do all those things that I probably should be doing all the way along. Like
exactly. Literally.
Reciting mantras to myself. Even though, I never let the exercise drop off, but even exercising and trying to let my mind go to nothing. Yeah. That's a good time for exercise. That's a good thing to do when you exercise. It's just
not thinking.
Not thinking. Not thinking about that.
Yeah. It's so shit because and this, like, I guess something I've been learning a lot recently, you can't really, and I was saying it, we were digging dirt today. We were digging dirt. I was going to beat around the bush, but no, we're digging dirt.
Shout out to Dad. Yeah. He saved money on an excavator. He decided to, just get his 3 sons to help out. So,
thanks for that.
Thanks, Dad. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, like, you deserve it for raising us and shit. I don't know, like, it's a bit backwards.
It's your choice, though.
That's on you, man.
Exactly.
Now the investment is paying back. He's getting you to help with IT. He's getting us to help with labouring. Like, the investment. If kids can be thought of as an investment, then he's getting his return.
He's getting his return. The worst investment in the world.
Yeah. Just like me. Still want to have kids though.
Yeah.
Maddie, if you're watching. But yeah, I think we were talking about, I was just saying, like, I guess with my mentor, Peter from Prime Wellness, who I've been speaking to a lot recently, you kind of don't, with anxiety and any sort of emotion, it's just like a cloud in the sky coming through. Like, you can't really do anything about it. You can't think your way out of it. And I like to think about it like, if you see a cloud in the sky, it's become so natural in your body or in your mind and how it sees the world. It's become so natural that you don't even think anything of it. You don't think, I don't know, you don't think, you might think, like rain's coming or something like that, but it's not like a big shock and you don't go into panic mode. And it should be the same thing with anxiety. If there's a thought coming through, just like a cloud, you're not going to go to you're not going to go to a meteorologist and be like, hey, we're going to get rid of that cloud. Like, start, like, no, we don't do that because it's become so natural. And like, it's just, anxiety needs to be that thing that is, as it's coming through, it's just like, oh, okay, it's coming through.
Yeah.
But you don't need to always do something about it, but it's hard to know. It is.
I
still,
take
you know,
practice and
have my
all those
issues.
things, yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
Well, it's good you mentioned, you know, therapists too.
Mm.
I've never gone. Probably haven't needed to, but
Yeah.
it's interesting because you found a lot of help with him.
100%, yeah.
And Taryn, although she'll probably refer to this later when we all do one together.
Yeah.
She just hasn't found any success with therapists. You know?
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I think expecting to bear the soul all the time for randoms that you've just met is pretty hard.
Oh, yeah.
But you know,
delve into everything.
maybe she just hasn't met the right one yet, or
Yeah.
maybe it just doesn't help her at all.
Yeah.
That book I lent you, like that Atlas of Depression book.
Yeah.
It said like, I basically whittled down. Like, it's a big book, but it
Yeah.
whittles down and said, you know, everyone's got their own unique plan. It's like, you know, as unique as you are as an individual, you know, some therapy might work for you.
Yeah.
But you might also balance it out with antidepressants.
Yeah.
Or it's, you know, lifestyle change. Maybe you're not exercising as much as you should be. You know,
Yeah.
well, changes to that. Mindset changes.
Mm.
Meditation. Like it's all
Yeah.
a tapestry. But yeah, you just got to find like you said before, what works for you. But
Yeah, and it sucks because we're not, I guess, I don't know how to use the word trained, but we're not put in a position always to use our emotions or to be aware of our emotions.
Yeah.
And then once they're out in the open, it's like, what do I do with them? Like you were saying with like Taryn, and the traditional therapy wasn't exactly or hasn't exactly been successful. Like I saw someone, I've mentioned this before, but I saw someone like ages ago, and it was about my anxiety with footy and just, you know, because I really wanted to eventually, you know, make it to the AFL,
yeah,
you know, still working on that. No.
yeah,
It's coming. Which is something that I've, you know, become at peace with now. But I guess at the time, I couldn't get out of that way of thinking. And I'd go to each session and I'd be really just pent up
right,
like emotion, and then I'd kind of let that out with him. I'd be like, I feel good for a couple of days, and then I'd like, well, I'm kind of back to square one. I don't really have any strategies or any new mindsets or any ways of thinking.
back to
Because traditional therapy can be really helpful.
yeah.
It's about
And we were talking today too, like
Yeah.
whether another one was religion,
exactly.
and you're like, well, yeah, for us going through Catholic school and everything, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe that's just not our religion. But,
Yeah.
I mean, but you can see, I think you can pull things from anywhere, right? You know, like Stoicism or religion,
Like karma,
ethics,
which is from Buddhism, Hinduism,
Jeez.
something.
Anyone dial in with that?
Yeah. Let us know. But it's
Buddhism.
I think it's from some sort of religion. That
Yeah.
it's just like just an idea, what goes around comes around type of thing. Yeah, exactly what you were saying.
But whatever helps, obviously.
Yeah.
Pursue that path. But yeah, a lot of it's trying out. I mean, I don't know. With me, it's sort of another way of getting it out. So maybe I can say I have been to a therapist because whenever I'm feeling particularly down in the dumps with anxiety, what usually helps, what's a good kicker for me, is writing everything down.
Yeah.
So once you write everything down, it almost becomes like, and I was never good at maths, but it always becomes like a problem you can solve.
Yeah.
Once it's down on paper, you're like, okay, this has become a thing, like a tangible thing I can work with.
Yeah.
Just the process of writing it down is, in fact,
It's
the
therapy. Yeah,
It is that is the therapy. I could I leave it there, but I can burn it, I can do whatever I want with it. But the act of getting it out of my head onto paper, and I reckon it's probably worked for me all the time where it's gone, and then a few days later with everything else, doing breathing exercises, meditation, plenty of exercise, stuff like that, I'll be feeling much better.
Yeah.
So thinking, maybe I should always.
Maybe you should always,
And
yeah.
I did try that for a while, but I don't know. I think it became a chore, and I was.
Yeah, if it feels like a chore,
I don't know, it
it
just
should
didn't
be.
feel like writing in it every day.
Yeah.
Like logging things or my anxieties, complaints, whatever else.
Yeah.
I'd rather spend that energy somewhere else. But
Hmm.
then again, maybe I could short circuit that 1 week, a month where I'm feeling pretty anxious by just writing every day. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
That's something I'll try later.
Yeah, you never know. Once you you mentioned this before, once you come out of that, maybe anxious week, you're like, fuck, I should have done more this. I should have done more exercise, more maybe meditation, more mantras,
But as long as you're taking note,
Yeah.
that's the best thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
you know for next time. Maybe you don't try, but at least you're aware of
Yeah.
what you did and what pulled you out and why you were feeling anxious. I mean, that might not be one reason why it's more.
Yeah.
Or it might just be a constant thing that's with you, like with Taryn.
Yeah.
For me, I think I can always point to external forces and go, yeah, okay, it's definitely because it's an issue week or whatever. I've overthought about everything to do with it.
Yeah. Literally.
It's it's funny. It's funny that. Geez, a lot of it has to do with work.
Yes.
And I like my
it's scary,
job, but
yeah.
I don't know. You just get ahead of it all. And
Yeah.
I reckon I think what's worse is the work from home. Not all the time. I love working from home, half. But man, working from home, no one else in the house. I have to have something else on. I'll put on a long. A long podcast which I can just zone out to, or music even, but it can't be really headbanging music.
Yeah,
just I don't know, soft jazz or something.
Yeah.
Or lo-fi, that bloody lo-fi study beats.
Yeah, the
YouTube playlist.
Chill Cow or something. Yeah. She's still studying to
She's
this
still
day.
studying to this day. She was the smartest person in the bloody world.
I can swear. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think because then I find, I've visualised it before, but it's just all my thoughts just bouncing off the fucking walls.
Yeah.
Just bam, bam, bam.
Boom, boom, boom,
everything's in me. But that's it, you go outside, you slow down, you actually slow down. I do things I don't know, in order to get sort of a grasp on the worst of it, I sort of just sit down, just, I don't know, feel the table and just really concentrate on what the table feels like.
Yeah.
Or when I go to the beach, I run my hand through the sand.
Yeah.
Or actually, the beach is good too because hold the breath, get the breathing under control, get it very ordered again.
In touch.
Do strokes hold your breath. It's 1, 2, 3 strokes. Just hold.
Yeah.
Breathe out and hold. Breathe out and hold. Breathe out. So
there's there is a psychology behind that, getting in touch with every single thing that's around you. That is around you.
right.
There's even a meditation that Peter sent me that's on the YouTube channel. It's called Felt Sense of Safety, and it's all about acknowledging everything around you, the floor beneath you, and what's the smells and what's your hand touching, and what does it feel like if you just kind of close your eyes. And it's similar to what you can do for kids or just for kids in general, if they're feeling angry. If you get them to just go through what is one thing you see, or what is 5 things you see? What are 4 things that you hear? What are 3 things that you smell? Going through all the touch and all the senses.
Right. I've never heard it used with the kids before.
Yeah.
Right.
I think I've done a bit of research on it because obviously I'm becoming a character.
Yeah, I was just saying, that brought up in the teaching, or were they?
Nah, it was just an article I read. I was looking for things that I could put in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all about taking them from that angry place and grounding them, just taking them to a place right now, you're in this moment right now, and everything's okay. You're freaking out about, and we're just kids, obviously. They're very similar to us. We get really aggressive, or we can get really emotional about something, and then we don't really look at it from a perspective of understanding.
Yeah.
So like what it's like, yeah, basically what it's supposed to do is to just calm and take you, just ground you and take you to the present. Be like, okay, well, I smell this, I hear this, I see this. Everything right now is okay. Like,
That's right. You're right. Being in the present.
It's not. Yeah.
Because you're right. I mean, it's an inherently selfish.
Yeah.
Mental state. That anxious state.
Yeah.
Because all you can think about is. What if that happens, and how do I react, and have I done this correctly, and what are me, and
me. Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
if only I was me and an absolute narcissist, mate, because then I probably wouldn't suffer from anxiety. I'd be fine.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes it'd be better to feel nothing.
And like you're saying forward too, I mean, a good way to ground. Well, I know with you, right? I think when you were feeling, pretty bad.
Pretty bad, yeah, down in the dumps. Yeah.
That holiday that we took to New York.
Oh,
I think that was a great way. Expensive, but
work for.
a great way that's a good way to ground yourself.
Yeah.
Like, because you're just taken out of your environment.
Yeah.
You've gone, okay, I'm going to worry about some things, right? But we're not going to a desert or something.
Yeah.
To survive for 7 days.
You're in a contained environment, but
it's
it's also
New York.
Yeah.
We went to New York, and it's just I suppose I probably saw that even recently down in Vincentia.
Yeah.
Over in our holidays too.
Yeah.
You find, geez, you get so bloody into that routine.
Yeah.
And you're getting home, which just compounds anxious thoughts and
Yeah.
stuff. But you're not actually really taking care of yourself. You might be knocking off at the right times, but for month after month we've been working, no leave. And as soon as we get down, as soon as we had some time by ourselves in the Hunter Valley, it was immediately like we were connecting on, just much better, like emotionally, romantically, everything.
Yeah.
You just go like, well, fuck, it'd be good to do this. You shouldn't need a holiday.
No, you shouldn't. Yeah, exactly.
You just slip into those patterns. I wasn't anxious at all on holidays, and I don't think I ever really have been. Maybe if I have been anxious the week before, it just spills over.
Yeah.
A couple of days sitting down with a book and whatever else, mate. A couple of things.
Oh, man, yeah.
I'm fine.
Just everything go. And obviously, not everyone can always go on holiday and
cool. And that's probably a luxury too.
Yeah,
imagine you can't. Imagine you've got more responsibilities than we had at that time in particular.
Yeah.
And imagine you couldn't just be. Imagine you're supporting kids and got a family, and there's no just taking time off from that really.
Yeah. I guess even if it's not like a holiday, just a change of environment, just for a day, or just a change, just break the routine.
I was thinking about that the other day. Yeah, maybe that's the resolution this year. Just do something, because I like my routine mostly. Because it's beneficial for things like I'll get out for a run every lunchtime. Or a swim, just some sort of exercise, which is great. Get the endorphins pumping, come back to work, feel great.
Yeah.
But it's definitely. I don't know, maybe I should just do one different thing a day. If I always go to the beach or so, maybe I'll go to the beach after I work for an hour.
Yeah.
Just something different. Just
switch
really
it up.
Wake up. Get rid of all the emails, message everyone back and say, I'll be back in 15 minutes, go to the beach.
Yeah.
Get the coffee on the way back, which in itself is probably more anxiety inducing as well. But I've taken, but for example, I've taken a week off coffee too, because I was feeling pretty anxious last week. So I was like, well, I won't touch these things that compounds that mental state.
Yeah.
But fuck, it's good for the wake up.
You reckon? Yeah.
It's great for the wake up. Only concentration, but But that's it. But when you're outside that zone though, it just falls in on itself, and all that energy is just like fucking.
Yeah.
So
it's
when
changing that whole environment. There's this quote that's stuck with me. That Peter's been talking to me about. It's the definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing and expecting a different result. So if you're in the exact same environment and doing the exact same thing as best as you can control, obviously, you're obviously going to run patterns of depression and feel like you are in a box. You're going to run anxious because it's just how am I going me out of this, or even subconsciously you're thinking like, how, like, is this is just life. This is my life. Like,
this is my life.
And it's hard, and especially if you're in like the 9 to 5, which is obviously nothing wrong with the 9 to 5. That's like that's the normality.
Yeah.
But it's hard to. It can be a bit like.
Yeah, I think it depends to how much you care about your job and stuff too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think my job's great for the most part, but the project I'm in at the moment is, honestly, I wish it was over.
Yeah.
But it's not like I've got a boss screaming at me or anything. Or I love the people I work with. I get paid well, get great benefits. It's just one of those things. You care about doing a good job. I think I've always been like that. Like, I've always been a teacher's pet. So Taps loves that. Taps loves. She thought she was going to be dating a bad boy.
Dating a bad boy? I can't imagine you as a bad boy. No way.
I used to be bad.
You used to be bad?
Not really.
Back in...
Yeah, after a few cruises, mate.
Hey, look, for me it was Canadian clubs. That was the first time I ever got...
That's pretty... Where did you get? When's the first?
It was like 16. Do you remember? I got drunk as hell, but it was like maybe like 4 cc.
Were we back at Lily Peak?
We were still. Oh yeah, back at Lily Peak. Yeah, we were still in like the old house.
Yeah.
And there's this video of me that my mate took of me.
Yeah.
So all the boys were staying over at my house. That night. It was.
Was I there?
No, you weren't there. Oh no, you might have been. You were still living at home, obviously. But we went to this party that was a couple streets away from our house in Coombe, and I just got destroyed. Vomiting in the backyard, just like class. Oh yes,
classic.
Vomiting next to the backyard, and then on the right of me is the clothesline that's just conveniently placed in the middle. So like it was a classic Aussie bash, and I don't think the parents knew about that.
I don't think I was.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're 16, right?
Yeah. Okay. And I don't know. I called Brad. Someone called Brad to get me. I walked out onto the road, nearly got hit by a car. Fuck me. And then Brad dropped me home, and he was like videoing me, and I was like, and he saved those. And then there's a photo of me because the boys are trying to get home.
Yeah.
Because I had kind of dished him because I was drunk.
Of course, yeah.
And they were knocking on my window, and I was sitting there like laying like possessed, like my body, like my body was like I was doing like a glute bridge. My body was like this, and I'm like just like this. I looked possessed, and
I've seen you wake up like
shit.
Before,
Yeah.
Sometimes I see you wake up and think, that's a bad boy.
That's a good segue into actually what I was going to talk about.
We didn't plan that.
Yeah, a bit of a deep. Whatever. About sleep.
Yes.
Holy shit. Okay, so it's funny that you mentioned that I sometimes wake up looking like, because sometimes my sleeps aren't great at all, and over the years it's just been shit. And it's also because of work, and sometimes I'll be waking up like at 5 a.m. and I don't get to bed until late, and that's, I guess, cultivated from staying up late in high school, watching stuff on my laptop or whatever.
Which is no.
No, it's no.
Read a bloody
book.
What happened to books, man?
Yeah, I know. Getting back into books.
Go to the library. Cheapest source of entertainment
you'll
ever get. Well, it's free.
Yeah. But I guess what I'm working on a lot of things at the moment for my sleep, for my like sleep hygiene, which is like making sure that the only thing I do in my bed is sleep or sex as well. Yeah, which is the only two things that you technically are supposed to do. No, I found it doesn't work out.
It's hard to maintain.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess stuff with that, and wearing like sleepy strips which block your mouth from breathing, because you want to make sure you're breathing through your nose. That's
worked? You reckon?
It's worked here and there, yeah.
Okay.
When my nose is like able to come unblocked, it's good. Like I wake up feeling like I had a quality sleep, and even though I've only had 7 hours, I actually felt really good about it.
Right. Yeah.
But and other stuff like duration, like I actually going from 8 hours and being like, no, you need 9 hours type of thing.
Right.
Obviously reading before bed.
Yeah.
Some other things, but any advice, I guess, or your own experience with getting a good sleep that you recommend?
Just be good at sleeping, mate.
You're good at sleeping.
You've always been
good. Actually, you're trained, man.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can't
a
do
trained
it.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Mum loves telling the story that, I was the best sleeper, Brad was the best eater when we were younger.
Yeah.
And you were the best crier.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
Which I don't know.
That's this one.
I think it's got positive, negative.
Yeah.
Well, also, I don't know. It depends how much Brad ate too, which is
Yeah, exactly.
that
yeah.
could also be negative. Well, for me, I think basically all those things you've said. Get rid of fucking screens.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe have a tea before bed, one of those nice nighttime blends that start winding down. Don't just go straight from laptop in the lounge room, for example, straight to bed and think you're gonna get to sleep, because it's essentially the same thing, right? Long bath.
Oh, yeah.
Just
possibly.
drain out.
Yeah.
If you're feeling, obviously it's better if you're drained of energy for the day.
Yeah.
Because and that goes with everything. Make sure you get exercise and all that. I would say those things. I mean, I don't know. I think Taryn jumps on the phone a lot before bed. We try not to do that as well. I try not to do that as much, but sometimes when we've got shows, that's the last thing we go to do before going to bed.
Yeah.
Which is not that good, but otherwise I'll read. Like she'll get on her phone, but which probably a good idea to get her to stop that.
Yeah.
See if that helps at all, but because she wakes up during the night. But I know, if it's particularly bad, do it our cousin to be does, and CBD oil.
CBD oil. Oh, talk about Justin.
Yeah.
CBD with that.
So that's the oil from the cannabis plant that it's not the THC, so it's very high, but it has all the other benefits of cannabis.
Oh, sick.
But he gets it from a place. He's got the certificate to say. So if he ever gets pulled over, like by the cops or like inspected his workplace or whatever, that he's got a medical reason for it.
Yeah.
And he got it for. I think he said it took about a month to get the certificate.
Yeah.
Or to be able to buy it.
Yeah.
Not sure how long it was before, like, there's any process before that to get it.
Yeah.
But he got it because I believe he just struggled to sleep through the night and anxiety too.
Yeah.
But like I know, Taryn tried some of it when she was down the coast.
Yeah.
On that last night. And
she was just telling me actually.
And like it seemed she was out like a lot. I've never seen. I always fall asleep first, like because I'm that good.
Yeah, because you're just trained.
But also because Taryn takes a lot to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Everything else, but yeah, she was out, and it might, it's been a big week and whatever, but never seen that before.
Yeah,
she was gone. Yeah.
That
would also be a thing to consider too, especially if you've got a medical reason or you are very anxious or something like that. But I mean.
I think if you're really struggling with sleep, this could be an avenue to. Yeah, okay.
But you can mostly cover your bases, all that other stuff. Honestly, the great thing, just get off the screen. I mean,
yeah.
So helpful. And you might not find that it's very immediate, like you've just had the best sleep of your life and you're reading a book.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But
it's not going to be.
Man, I don't know, the quality would be so much better. I mean, I know too, like, if I've been watching a screen for a while, I go to bed. I'm sort of like my eyes will be pretty dry, so like the tear ducts will be working overtime to like make them wetter again. I'm always like for the first 10 minutes I'm like wiping my eyes, which is annoying. And then you're like thinking maybe I shouldn't have straightened or gone down that YouTube rabbit hole.
No,
or maybe I should read a book. Blah blah blah. But all those things definitely help. And I'm not sure. It could be one of those things like. Different approaches work for everyone.
Yeah.
But I would say with sleep, it's probably the science is a bit better. Like, it's more consistent across people rather than approaches to addressing anxiety and depression.
Yeah, okay.
I'd say I'm hazarding a guess. But
No, I back that because if you just say, "Oh, just read before you go to bed," sometimes that's not even enough, and like if you're improving your sleep hygiene, sometimes that's not even enough. Like some people just have like heaps of trouble. I even got like some like blue light glasses, which were actually I got them knocked down like a couple of years ago.
And they filter it out.
Yeah, they're good there. They like basically filter out the blue light that comes from like technology or like from like laptop.
Actually,
or phone.
you say that too.
Yeah.
Quick aside, there's an app for that if you look on your MacBook. It's called Flux IO.
Yeah.
And it automatically manages your screen state depending on what time of day it is, and if it's dark outside or whatever else.
Yeah.
It'll reduce the blue light.
Oh, I see.
So quick aside, but essentially the same things your glasses are doing.
Ah.
So I use that.
Okay, yeah.
Just to help, but
Yeah. Because I was even told to like, you can still go on technology before bed, but you go onto it, like say you have dinner around 6, 7, maybe 8 if you have training and you get home late, something like that. Have dinner around then, you can still have your blue light glasses on and like be engaged in technology, and then take the glasses off, switch off technology and stuff like that, and like it even takes me like 2 hours to wind down sometimes, depending on the day that I've had. Even if I've had a day where I've exercised heaps and I've been busy with all sorts of things. Like what you were saying, it's sometimes just based off the person, you just can't, like, I don't know, you can't get the exact. Hey, Connie.
Hi! I was wondering why you want to interrupt.
Okay. You can't completely calm down and like get to sleep. I was gonna say something about. Oh yeah, there's a cool thing you can do on your phone that Maddie actually got me onto.
Right.
Is like you go through like screen time on your settings, and you can limit how much you go on like certain things on your phone. So I just give myself maybe like an hour of like social media every day.
Yeah.
Right. So I can only go on any like YouTube, which is like social media, like YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram are the main 3, and then the rest just kind of like whatever. Like,
That's a big one.
Just an hour.
That's it's not just being on the screen, but what you're doing.
That's all I'd be going on anyway. I don't use the rest of the apps much anyway. And
surprising.
In the first day that I used it, I cut off 2 hours. So I'm like, holy shit! I would be spending 2 hours extra on my phone doing
nothing. Endless scrolling.
And it is a dopamine kind of
100%.
trip that you get yourself into because you're constantly trolling. Constantly scrolling.
You do that, right?
You're constantly scrolling and you're just trying to like get the next thing,
Yeah, the endless scroll is fucking. You raised a good point. Going off the back of, I think, I haven't read his book. And Brad loves him, Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
He does say, I don't think he said he doesn't listen to the news anymore. Like, we're at home, I'm a dad, religiously have the 6 o'clock news.
Yeah,
don't care. Everything's breaking. Could be the most random fucking thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect me, it doesn't affect anyone outside, maybe there's like a car chase or something. Who the fuck?
Yes.
It's not breaking news, mate.
Okay.
That is not it's, everything's breaking, everything's high alert, everything you need to know now, and you need to know this because it affects your life, and your life is important. And
your life.
You have to be informed and blah, blah, blah.
Be informed. We're here for you.
Constant point. It's incessant.
Yeah.
It's almost like, I don't know, it's, as we've been looking at social media now a bit more, and we can now see what companies trying to do to get us into that endless information loop.
Yeah.
The news have been trying to do the same thing.
Yeah,
since the 24-hour cycle started, and gone, well, how do we lock people into an ecosystem? And it's up the fear and anger and everything else. And even if it's something like, I don't know, I'm more of a lefty.
You're a lefty. Oh yeah.
I'm more of a lefty.
If we're getting
political.
Yeah.
But I know from, well, you know, if there was any 24/7 news I put on, it would have been the ABC, which I don't think are alarmist or anything like that. But it's just that incessant cycle. You're like,
Again,
So
something
Facebook
bad's
stuff.
happening.
Yeah.
This is something that's impending.
Yeah.
And you're like, yes, it's not something happening right now, but it's like it still would be in the back of your head if you're thinking about it like years in the future.
agree.
You're like,
and I know
yeah,
if I'm
see
at work,
happening.
I'm having
Don't
a
need to.
if I'm having a slow day at work, you know, I'll catch myself scrolling news sites. It used to be Reddit. Reddit I used to be big on, but that's more of the same. That's even worse, I reckon, because you'll get like those subreddits that say like, oh, you know, it'll be like, am I the asshole, or like, you know.
Oh yeah, people talk about like a story. They share a story, and they're like,
just get you angry.
yeah.
Because you're like,
Yeah.
you're a fucking asshole.
Yes.
Well, that
Holy
person's
shit,
an
dude.
asshole. You're like, why do I care?
The
Why am I
wormhole.
doing it? It's probably even made up.
Yeah,
Who
yeah,
knows?
yeah. Literally, so many things I've read and I've seen it just made up. But yeah, holy shit, there is that many things out there to get sucked into,
Yeah.
and there are certain like you can go through YouTube wormhole or Luke. What's the phrase for YouTube?
I say rabbit hole.
Rabbit hole. Yeah.
That's probably how.
And there's some good ones to go down. Like I went on a full like conspiracy binge the other day, but like UFOs and stuff like that, and then all these other things. I was like, this is sick. Like
Yeah,
I don't care
like,
if it's true. This is sick.
It depends.
So there's
I
some
mean,
cool stuff. There's some good
For
stuff.
YouTube's, you know, it's a broad spectrum, right? You
Yeah.
can do it for anything. But I find, you know, because I like cooking in the, you know, outside. I always found cooking's pretty therapeutic. That's
Yeah.
another one to toss on the list, actually.
Yeah, therapy. Yeah.
If everything goes wrong in your day, you know that if you follow this recipe, you're going to produce something that's really, it's going to be bloody nice.
Yeah.
You know, whatever you choose.
Yeah.
Follow the recipe. That could be the only thing that works for you that day.
It's a little win. It's like a little
Little
tick that you just like.
100%.
They're like, okay, well, this might not have gotten done well today, but like, I did this today. Like, I gave this a try, and like, it worked out.
And even if it didn't, you're like, oh, well, like, now I know to change that.
Yeah.
Probably
yeah.
use something now if I cook, you know, a 4-person size meal.
Yeah.
Because I'm intending on having it at lunch and dinner the next day.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, if I fuck it up.
Yeah, it's just gonna be
I'm
shit.
like, oh no. I'm going to give myself an extra. I don't want to throw it out.
I'm gonna eat it 2 more times now.
Personal problems. But,
Yeah, exactly.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I've definitely found that's very therapeutic too. As long as you don't get in your head.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, being present, you know, I'm just chopping vegetables.
Yeah.
Chop, 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 they look nice, put them in the fucking pot.
Yeah, chuck some music on or chuck a
some
podcast.
music on,
Like,
yeah.
you're in your own little world.
Yeah, 100%.
Understand. And anything that requires you to put your focus on something and like completely just like, okay, this is the new task, this is the new thing to be anxious about. That's actually better than just sitting there being anxious about whatever it is that you're pretty anxious about. Like,
That's,
if you give yourself something that you're anxious about, but you know, it's like you gotta eat, you gotta do it, then you come out the other side and be like, oh sweet, that was good, or you know, I learned something.
Learn
Like,
something, yeah.
it's more constructive than sitting and letting it kind of hit you or
You
take its effect.
you concentrate on the positive outcome, the silver lining.
Yeah.
Because there are always things fun, like, you know, you could have done an abject failure of a thing, but I don't know, like even at work, because I fucked up once and put something into production that was, sister up, went live,
Yeah.
and there was a bug in there,
Yeah.
and it was my fault. But you know what, it was great because everyone who told me, like, everyone's done it, just learn from it,
Just learn from it, yeah.
and now I know if I need to fix on the fly, like, you know, real quick,
Yeah.
then I know the process, and it's great, and I never want to be in that situation again, but it might happen, it's probably going to happen again.
Yeah.
It's not
Will happen. But you build up a stress stimuli, like your ability to respond to stress, like as it comes up. I've even found over the years, whether it be like stuff with like work or whatever sort of like stress thing, it's not like you kind of have an epiphany one day and you learn how to deal with everything from then on. But it's like you build up your stress stimuli, which is like your ability to respond to stress, your strength, I guess.
It's sort
in
of
that.
like many small epiphanies. You know?
It's many small things that like
That
you just
happens. I mean,
build over
it's-
time.
Yeah. But you're right, not some massive thing. It's
Nah.
like, I can handle the world now.
Yeah.
So small things, it's like adding to the armor each time.
Yeah, like
To the sponge.
even like cold showers are something that has
That's a good
proven
point.
to strengthen your stress stimuli.
Have you
Because,
ever
like-
done that? I did that for a little while. but
Yeah.
I done it on the weekly.
I do it. I don't do it like religiously because it's like if I feel fine going into the morning and I'm energized and I'm ready to go, no need to. But when I do kind of need it, I do need a bit of something to
Shock.
jolt me into the day.
That's
It's
when you
100%. I do it, and like I hate it, but like I jump in there.
Yeah. Do you turn it warm afterwards, or is it just straight up cold?
Sometimes
No.
I think early morning, I'll turn it to warm.
But that problem is,
Yeah.
I reckon I sit there more if I turn it cold.
Yeah, so
I sit there
yeah.
for longer going,
Oh man, it's want to be. Yeah, no. But yeah, like that's another really good thing to strengthen your body's ability to handle stress. Because similarly, when it comes to the office, you know, when something stressful like arises, you're not immediately sent into panic mode. There's a bit of resistance there, or there's a bit of resilience that you've built up. Not just from cold showers. Don't do that much, but it's just some sort of resilience that your body has,
That's it. I mean,
built.
well, you know, if you start the day that way and everything like that, and
Mm.
you do walk into one of those days where it's, you know, it's a tough day,
Yeah,
or something's just thrown at you from left field that you have bloody
And know
accounted
it.
for.
yeah,
Which is great about it's funny that, I mean, one of my favourite quotes, and they told us this at school actually, we had one of those incursion days. I think that's what we had. It's almost like a how to handle life day.
Okay.
Which centered a little bit around mental health, but
Oh.
I think that's when it was just starting to come into its own.
we never had that. It's bullshit.
Yeah, you guys definitely should. I think because one of those things that
Yeah.
snapped with me, the one quote, they gave us like a list of quotes.
Yeah,
I was like, okay,
pick one to live your life.
big one, but yeah, but basically one of those. Yeah, and it was, I think it was by Vince Lombardi. I think that's his first name. I
Yeah,
don't really remember the name.
Lombardi.
Lombardi.
Yeah. Bulami, yeah.
Good on you. Good on you.
Bulami.
But it was, you know, life is 90% what you think is going to happen to you, 10% what actually does.
Yeah,
But it's funny though, even in your anxious mind, you got something from left field, you're like, man, I didn't even fucking think of that.
Yeah.
Even though your mind's just going fucking churning through scenarios.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every single scenario. But then the thing that you can't even imagine.
Yeah, it's like bloody useless. Like, what is
Yeah.
this? Yeah, you should be thinking of all these scenarios.
you was that
What if that
fucking
be
be doing?
these?
Yeah, that's literally your job.
If there's going to be any benefit out of anxiety, it's going to be, well, at least we've considered literally all the scenarios. It's like, it's Doctor Strange in the Marvel in that movie.
Oh yeah, how many
How
possibilities?
many possibilities? 16 million
Yeah.
possibilities.
And when do we win? One.
Yeah.
Which is
I reckon, there's more chance winning against anxiety than there is fucking Thanos.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, you heard it.
Thanos, thanks.
Please don't
Shit,
serious,
bro.
Disney.
Seriously. Yeah, he hasn't felt anxiety before, mate. Speak to me when he has.
Yeah, so he's a raging narcissist.
Sometimes he's right there.
Sometimes he's right.
Sometimes-
I think he had a very good point. I would have sort of wanted him to win.
Yeah. Actually, and then I was like, man, this guy's actually driven. He's prepared.
Yeah.
He's done everything right, and all he wants to do after is just sit and farm
Yeah,
and
that's
live
it.
a simple life. What
That's Uncle Matt to a T.
a without the genocide. Without the genocide,
The
it's
farming up.
it's just funny.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, I think I don't know. I would say quite a lot. Yeah, I don't know. There's probably the same with you, right? There's a certain point where you started to say, "Fuck, I've never really felt this before, like anxious or depressed or whatever else." But you know,
Can't
and
pinpoint
since I have, I think obviously I haven't had any major issues with it, and I
Yeah.
think I managed to recognise it, learn to control it a bit. But I think a lot of it too, you do learn off other people. Like Taryn's
Yeah.
been huge with that. Like I didn't know how much eating disorders were. You know, I think it's the number one.
It is, I think. Oh, yeah, I think we're talking about that.
Women. I
Yeah.
believe.
Oh, it'd definitely be.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't even realise.
And it's not just you're slimming to look good for Instagram. I think that's like a bit of a stereotype. But, But it's so many things. It's a lot about a control thing that people have expressed. Like,
100%.
it's all about control.
all about that control.
yourself.
You know, and it's to do or for a certain agenda, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Just to, I don't know, to fit in. It seems
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
lot of it is just to fit in.
Yeah.
Whether it be some projection of what you should be able to fit into, whether that's reality or it's the reality.
Yeah.
You know. But you know, I don't know. I haven't. I think. I think. I don't know if the taps. I mean, and she'll obviously say this later, but I think a lot of when she was going through that, a lot of that fell on her family,
Right, yeah.
and you know, mum especially. I think we were talking about this recently, actually, but you know, even I think, well, you know, one of the things you do get, which is sometimes that projection of anxiety onto you. It's like, you know, she'll might get angry at me for something, but it's totally the anxiety. And
Right, yeah.
you know, you basically, and it has taken time. Like, I wouldn't always like snap and stuff, but you'd be like, well, I maybe think, fuck, is it me?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm thinking, I don't think it is. But you know, and then the next day she's great. She just goes, no, that was my projection. Onto you.
Yeah.
Sorry. I think, and she doesn't do that a lot, but I feel like her family would have copped it a bit more, especially at that particular stage. So,
Right, yeah.
to me, mate, I reckon I missed, you know, the worst.
The worst of it.
Which is, you know, and you know, I've still experienced the worst. And I hope to God it never goes back to that.
Yeah. No, she's doing well.
Yeah,
Considering.
but it's always handy. It's always like, you know,
Yeah.
if you slip up, that's, you know, still here. She still gets it all the time.
Yeah.
It's, you know, the thoughts.
Yeah.
There's the thoughts. And does that ever really go away?
Yeah, I don't think it
No.
ever does. I guess
You might get better at managing it.
Yeah, I guess each mountain might become a bit easier to climb, like just a bit easier, you know, or you kind of come to terms with it over time.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
Well, I think that's probably
Yeah.
the stage she's at now. I mean, obviously, I think, you know, it'd be nice to lessen some of the, because she takes antidepressants, but maybe lessen dependency on those with something a bit better, like CBD. Or
something
that would be
more natural, actually.
More natural.
Yeah.
Because those things are fucking cruel unto themselves. Like,
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Do you
The side
take
effects.
it? Or do you?
Nah, never taken. Yeah,
It's
because I know they can add weight as well. And,
Yeah, it's
side
a
effects.
whole. Oh man, the side effects list as long as your arm. Like, but it just goes from, you know, and probably the worst thing is like it'll have that big of an effect, but then it takes 6 weeks to wean off
Oh, really?
onto, you know, something. You know, if you're changing it, for example, or something else, so you have like massive withdrawals,
Right.
depending on how much you're taking.
Yeah.
But you have to go through them.
Yeah.
And it could be like, it could just fucking rock you, you know? You know, you might be, you could be in a nice, good place, be thinking, well, maybe I want to try these new pills because they might be better, and because, you know, possibly they have less side effects.
It is.
But guess what? You got 6 weeks of weaning off. It's pretty much, you know, it's a drug addiction.
Yeah, it's almost. It's very scary how it's supposed to help you, but it makes you want it more.
That's
Like it makes you want to like add into it more. And like
yeah,
obviously there's nothing wrong with taking them. I think just
No.
how they're designed and how they're, I guess, pushed onto people.
Yeah, I mean, and people want the quick fix. And-
Yeah.
But even with antidepressants, it's not a quick fix.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah.
It takes time to bloody work in the first place. But maybe that's the culture now. You know, just give me the pill. You know, don't care. But yeah, I would hazard a guess to say, I know everyone's plan's different, but like, I'd say you couldn't just get there entirely with the help of pills. So you always have to have some other factor. You're eating well. You got to be, it's
Needs
never
to
gonna be
be-
just that. But but for some things it might just be the therapy on top of your regular everyday.
Yeah,
But
just
I
to
don't know.
kind of guide you along,
But again,
bring you up if you're getting too.
That's it. Yeah. But again,
Too low.
I'm speaking out of my ass. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, but some people do go, like that guy who wrote the Atlas of Depression book, which is a great book, and you guys should get it. I'll borrow it from the library.
This video is sponsored by the library.
But yeah, so he, for example, he gets really bad. His depression's shocking.
Yeah.
So it's a bloody miracle that he wrote this book in the first place.
Wow.
But he says he's found, it's a mix for you of like pills and a particular type of therapy that's not, it's not your mainstream therapy. I don't think it's even the stuff that you do. It's something else entirely.
So
I
yeah.
think they work at even with the drug. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But that therapy is probably not available for everyone, or it's even on the list of most people. So
Yeah.
but then he'd talk about one particular lady's just catatonic and there's no way she can live in normal society. It's basically she lives in a mental hospital and there's nothing that's going to help her because it's just so bad the other way.
So
But,
it's nature.
Yeah, it's just yeah. I mean, I don't know what it goes into the genetic factor too.
Yeah.
Anything like that.
You count your blessings if you're not
Oh,
in
mate.
that constant cycle, if you're not in like that.
100%.
Oh,
Every
I
day.
can't imagine that.
It takes. I mean, I know it's finally coming into its own. It still gets knocked a bit. Why does everyone have anxiety now? It's like, mate, it's always been there. It's just been finally given a label.
Yeah.
Anxiety, because it's
Literally always been that.
always been there. We're finally giving a label. We're finally quantifying how many people have this and suffer from this.
Oh, mate, it's all everyone.
So many.
Yeah. It's slowly getting there, and then once that awareness is there, it's all about like, okay, well, what action can you individually take
Yeah.
to
100%.
Yeah.
Well, I think something as simple as, if you're going to do anything to take home from this podcast, I think we've finally gotten there with say we'd be going out and Taryn has a panic attack or something, she's really anxious and he doesn't want to stay out, so she goes home, or bail, or both bail, whatever. But you often say, like, I find that sort of awkward saying, like, oh, yeah, she's pretty crook.
right.
Or like,
Yeah, just like kind of that's a blanket.
yeah, and
space.
like, it was always like, and everyone would be sort of asking, so, oh, you feeling alright? Like, you're like, yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But
Just
well, it was actually really good. Well, recently, a little bit before that, Husey, I think, one day we were going out and he said he declined to come to a bottomless brunch on the day because he was just like, yeah, I'm feeling pretty anxious, guys. Like, I'm not in the state. But that was great. That was really good. Everyone was like, what the fuck? That's so much better than saying I'm feeling crook. Or just blanking everything.
Yeah.
Which is hard to say when you're under that state.
Yeah.
But even the other day I said it for Tab, like Tab's been home, she's been pretty anxious. It was a good day, but it's like there was nothing wrong with people or anything.
No. There doesn't have to be necessary or anything. It can just be nothing. Like you can be having a great time. Yeah.
But I said, I asked her, what do you want me to say? And she's like, oh, I think you should just say I was feeling anxious.
That's good.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I think that is singularly one of the best things, I don't know, the simplest things that you could say. Obviously you don't want to say that you maybe yourself when you got it, but even telling one mate and tell them to tell everyone else, like, this is how they've gone, they feel a bit anxious, they're alright, they just can't be around a lot of people right now, they just want to
100%. You reach that.
so much
Everyone. I find when I'm out, I reach that social like battery. I'm just like, and whether it be anxiety or just whatever, it's like I can't be.
And it's no great problem.
So
being
important,
honest.
mate.
It's,
Yeah.
You know, because they understand. I mean, they grow up in this environment now too.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
they all recognise that they've all probably had their experiences.
Yeah,
No one gets condemned. Like, you know, people actually say, oh, good on you.
yeah.
Good on you for saying that. Yeah, fucking go for it.
Go for it. Yeah,
Did
take
you
the
do
time you
anything?
need.
You're
Do anything.
okay, you know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
even better than saying feeling sick, because people are like, oh, fuck, go, like, stay away from me.
Yeah, feeling sick. Oh yeah, it's like, well, we shouldn't junk last night. Okay, shouldn't have been hungover. Yeah.
I think that.
Yeah.
I think that's really good.
Yeah.
That is one of the simplest things, and I'm glad it's coming into the foray now. And I think that is one of the, because A raises awareness, but B, it just simply puts the truth out, and C, everyone else acknowledges it and says, no worries,
Yeah.
no judgment.
Thanks for letting us know.
Thanks for letting us know.
It's something where if you get told that, you like, oh, well, they trust me. That's really good.
And that's
I
a
should,
big thing too.
you know?
Yeah.
And it brings you closer together.
100%.
Oh yeah, I was actually gonna ask. It's crazy. I was literally gonna ask about that.
I'll look
like,
at questions this
With with your mates, like I was wondering, how good are you guys at talking about this stuff? Because now we're not generations apart. We're in the same generation. I'm not saying you're old. You're 5 years older than me. You're not completely. You're not old. But I guess, only recently I guess past 5-10 years has mental health really taken a leap from being a weakness to like a strength. And it's like, I don't know, I'm just thinking like, how besides those two instances, has it improved over time with you and your mates being like, talking about stuff with mental health or being honest with that? Just with those instances that you mentioned just then.
I think, that first instance was driven by Husey, and
Yeah.
that was the second instance with Tabs. I'd say for my mates, I think Husey was probably a big one there, because obviously he's had a bit of a rough time mentally for a while now.
Right.
And it's been up and down, but he worked for Batir to
Yeah.
mental health.
I'd love to work
and
with that
stuff.
Yeah.
I think he really came into his own there. I think he should still be doing it, honestly.
Yeah.
But I think he was a big driver for it. I wouldn't say. I actually don't think we talk about it probably as much as we should.
Yeah.
Like, you're always offer that. Oh, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here if you need it.
But when it's taken up, it's probably not a lot.
Yeah.
And maybe, I don't know with my mates, I would say, I don't think, I'm sure they started from it in some way, shape or form, but like everyone.
Yeah.
But I don't know, for example, like, people might be taking antidepressants that I'm not aware of.
Yeah. No idea.
And I don't know, it just doesn't come up in conversation, probably should. And I don't know, how do you do, what's the best forum to do that? Do you just sit them down and say, mate, what the fuck's going on with you?
Yeah.
Where are you suffering from?
Where do you suffer from?
What pills do you take?
That's
Apart from the ones you just took in the bathroom.
apart from the bag, I just
Yeah.
gave it, which you didn't split with me. I was like, it's such it's a hard conversation.
That's me, but I'm not sure of
other
groups.
groups. Yeah.
But I don't know, what about you? What are you?
Well,
you guys
pretty
are
good.
Pretty open.
I don't have a big friend group.
Right.
I guess I have different groups. Like I have
Yeah.
one group which is like with like Jack, and I guess there's like mates from Dealer.
Yeah.
Mainly like year above me ones, and then just whatever. Like there wouldn't be anything like bad about it, but our conversations never really like
No, they don't cross
drift to there. It's more just like,
Yeah.
I hate to say it, good vibes. But it's more just good conversation, just taking piss out of each other, and never to the point where we're making each other feel like shit, but just like just taking piss out of things.
No.
And then I guess with like Finn and Peter, it's definitely really good because both of them are like honest about their own struggles, and they know that with me, obviously, I've made that very clear.
Yeah.
That I struggle.
Yeah, no, you started a podcast and a website about it.
I did, eh?
Yeah, you basically mean, should I broadcast this? Yes, in every possible.
Definitely, in every possible. And for all my employers to see. I don't give a shit. But, yeah, I just think it's so hard for us to influence like policies and for us to change everything that's happening, in the world. But if we can do what we can in our friend groups, just take that step and be like, well, like, I'm actually not feeling okay at all, fellas or guys. Like, I just feel really sad at the moment, or I feel really anxious. It's nothing to do with you guys, or it is to do with this. Just have a conversation with it.
It
Stop
takes
hiding
courage.
from it. It takes courage, but just really, you'll feel better about it if you just take that leap.
You will.
And just be like, I don't feel good. I'm telling you guys, I'm being honest.
100%. Oh, mate, we're social animals. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, take a leaf out of the female handbook. It's like, they're much better talking about their feelings and stuff than men.
Yeah, so much better. Yeah.
But, we should take a leaf out of that particular playbook.
Mm.
But it probably will take practice.
Yeah.
I think, but you're right. I mean, so if someone sticks their hand up and says, with Hughesy, it's been good, because at least it's on the table. And
Yeah.
the fact that it doesn't get talked about a lot, aside from that, it's still on the table, and people are aware of it.
It's something to remind yourself. Because, I guess with any one of your mates and for any one of your mates, like, if anything happens and you can't reach them, or something happens and it's a bit unexplainable, if you know the bit of a context about them, you're like, okay, well, I think it's
I
this.
think it's
And
that.
let's treat it like that, because we don't want to we don't want worst case scenario.
100%.
You know what I mean? You know what
Send
I'm
her a
talking
couple of
about.
nice messages, give her a call.
Yeah, just I don't know, you're thinking of them, and
Yeah.
I think for any positive like change with comes to mental health, I truly think, like, I mean this, I think we address our mental health, so many issues in our Western world can be like really starting like addressed. So many issues. I think domestic violence could be fucking like targeted and dealt with in a real like successful way if we're teaching our kids and we're breaking that cycle of mental health and
Oh, yeah.
like for any like positive changes, all it takes is just like one person to speak out, and then you just need one person to listen, and then
That's all it takes.
we can just go from there.
Yeah.
like
I mean, because
So,
we can't
yeah.
influence
it's
it
so important.
at policy level.
You can't, but like
You
it's
add to the ground.
everything.
So, yeah.
It's at the core. Like it's
all
everything.
about influencing, mate. I mean,
Yeah,
which is what this is.
yeah. Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah, because if you touch as many people, it does influence on a policy level eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it does get there.
Mm.
So I mean, I don't know. I think you sell yourself short, probably. But yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I mean, it's just the conversation, and I mean, I think based on this talk, I agree, and it's probably been back on my mind for a while now. But maybe we should sit the boys down, honestly, a coffee, and say,
Yeah. Let's.
let's get it out of the open.
How well do you really know each other?
Yeah.
You know?
How well do you really know each other? Do you guys suffer from any
Yeah.
Do you guys suffer from any listeners? I get anxious from time to time.
Yeah. Let's
Good.
talk about it. I fucking someone who I greatly respect for his honesty and relatability is Brandon Jack.
Yes.
Fuck.
Great.
Yes. Thank you for
I
recommending.
mean, please
me.
come to this podcast, mate. This is,
Yeah. Come on in, mate. We'll have a good talk.
Yeah. We can talk. And a kick of the footy after.
And yeah. Exactly.
That's the B-roll sound bites. It's just the footy kick.
Yeah.
Lace out. Thank you very much.
But yeah, his relatability in his book, 28, just like it, we all think all these random things, and we may think people think it, but we don't know it. Just having the courage to be like, I'm gonna say it. Just say it. Just like the note taking you were saying earlier. If you just go out and if you just write it down, doesn't matter where you put it, but as long as it's out there.
Yeah.
And so let's say you do put it out for people to see. God, it's so comforting to see that someone else thinks the same way you do, and like their anxiety can bounce from this to that to this to that, and it just like spirals.
Yeah.
It's so comforting to see that. That's what I guess that book has done. It's great.
It's a great insight into mate. It's better than fucking most of the books on the shelves about ex-footy players. Had a successful stellar career. I think, mate, honestly, he made the bloody AFL. I think that's successful. It's hard to say that in a hyper-competitive environment.
Yeah.
He judged himself on that all along. But I think I agree. But that's it. But it takes a bit of courage, because I think he obviously wrote a book about, so he did like you, mate. He's supposed to be broadcasted.
Look, everything.
It's easier, right? Like, I'm sure it. I mean, I don't know. The fact that's it. You're probably going to get to episode 100 of this and go, fuck, I know myself so well.
That's a little personal goal of mine. Is to just say, if I come across something that interviewee says, and I'm like, fuck, okay, I'm the same, I'll bounce off that. And write that down, and I think it's pretty obvious, but like the more you know yourself, like the better you are. You can take over the world, man. Like,
weird segue, but it's like from I'm reading right at the moment from the library. Clementine Ford's Fight Like a Girl book. It's a great sort of feminist book from one of the great Australian feminist writers. But she was saying, and this is in terms of masturbation, it's like, it's just obviously saying in terms of girls, it's it's been frowned upon for years. You shouldn't pleasure yourself and whatever else.
Yeah,
but
it's weird.
guess what? If you do know yourself and know your body well, and you get there by practicing on yourself, masturbating, then you go have sex and you're like, touch me there.
Bang, we're good.
It's not that easy, of course. But you know exactly what finishes you, and you can guide the person who you're there with. Could be whoever you want. You just say, no, I like it like this, I like it like this. Thank you very much, Dunsky.
Exactly, it's Dunsky. Yeah, we're good.
If only it was that easy. For guys, it's bloody easy.
It's just
keep going till the white stuff comes out. It's up and down.
Just set a timer for 2 minutes.
2 minutes, mate. That's impressive.
That's all I do.
But it's it's the same thing.
Yeah.
With mental illness.
It is literally. If you know yourself in like a relationship situation, if you know what helps your partner or what doesn't help your partner, it's like you guys are just gonna save yourself from fights and bullshit in the end, because you're just you're gonna constantly be in a place it's a safe place to talk up and be like, well, instead of letting this simmer and me resenting you for this, I'm gonna actually be like, you know what, I don't like that, or I like when you do this, or I don't like when you say that, or you phrase it like that. Like, I even had a good talk with Maddie recently, and we talked about a lot of just like things, and I even said it ages ago when we started dating. I don't want to have things like pent up and like kind of simmering and not talk about it. But I guess there was like a couple of things that kind of kept there, and then we sat down, we had a talk, and we just like had a really good. We explained each other. We explained ourselves well. We listened to each other, and I don't know. I just felt very confident from that.
It's a good way to go. Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're dating a friend. You just need to hash things out. You need to
all the time.
It makes it so easy.
We're social animals, mate. We thrive in that communication. So unless you're bearing your soul often, you can't reach that connectivity that you need. Right?
Yeah, literally.
It's a good game Tabs and I played a while back. It was We're Not Really Strangers. basically it's a bunch of cards that you should be playing with strangers, but they ask you like pretty personal questions.
Right.
And we just play it between us just to pretty much do the same thing that you guys did, but just do it with pointed questions.
Yeah.
It was good. I actually think that heralded the start of our holiday. I think that was the last day of our lockdown from COVID. Or we had it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it was good. It sort of puts you on a more stable emotional setting before go embark on a holiday or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But maybe that's the big crux of it. Boils back to communication with yourself.
With yourself first, I think. Yeah.
Solve the thing we're talking to friends about. It's communication. Just have a chat. Just call people. Or if you're pissed off at someone, or if you're angry with someone, it's like, I don't know you, mate, but how many fucking things you see, like petty arguments and stuff could be resolved with a simple fucking phone call.
Yeah.
Don't dance around the issue, just fucking someone call.
Yeah, like it's just gonna be worse if you don't address it. Like, and it's hard. It's hard.
It's tough
to confront.
Yeah,
it's hard, but
like you're saying, like the not storing things up. Sometimes when we have a fight, we don't go to bed angry, but sometimes it's the easier option.
It's
Because I'm just going to sleep now or we'll do it tomorrow. But that whole thing, don't go to bed angry sort of thing, which is a good advice for making a relationship last is right. Just got to address it there and then.
Well, I think we're nearing the end. It's been a great talk. I want to only have one beer. I want to ask last thing before we embark. Any sort of advice in your 26 years of life? Any lessons and stuff like that? Things that you've learned that would be helpful for anyone watching, at a younger age. Things that you've learned. Anything that comes to mind.
I reckon I'm going to plug the library again. Plug it.
Man, we're going to get paid for this. We're going to get fucking sponsored. I'd say.
I'll be able to photocopy 3 documents, save the 90 cents of the bloody thing or whatever it is. Mate, reading's always been a big companion of mine, as you probably know.
Yeah.
It's also got, I even sort of added on the train about that. It was like, reading can have benefits for mental health. It can really slow you down. It's connection, imaginings, emotionally. Yeah. Mate, I reckon when I've got a list of books and I've got a good book and I'm reading, it's, I don't know, I think it's just a good thing to get into, even more than a Netflix show or something. I think it's got a whole range of benefits, not just to do with mental health. Excites, invigorates the brain, and your imagination. Just, remember when you were a kid, your imagination was like the biggest thing in the world. I think, I've always stuck with that. That's always, and even recently, well, not recently, probably when lockdown was there, or whenever we were able to borrow books again. I think I've just gone heavy.
Just get so much.
Just love reading, and it should be something that everyone does. And I know, some people say they're not fans of reading. But it's like, well, it's part of that slowing down. It's that physical embodiment. So, I'm opening up a book, I'm going to sit there and I'll read.
And there's no time. It's just right.
And alright, maybe you're not reading the right books if you're struggling and you've gotten to page 20 and you're still struggling, and you've gotten to page 50 and you're still struggling, then fair enough, go get another book. You don't have to finish it.
You can find,
you don't have to finish it.
Don't. It's like you can find, the 28 got me back into reading, and I'm reading the Mad Jack Door one.
Like you just got to find
it.
Book and then read everything by that author.
And
look at authors that are similar. It's all. So reading would be a big one.
It really is like a practice in presence, like being present.
It really locks you in especially a good book. God, it's like, when's the last time you read a good book and you're like, fuck, I didn't want that to end.
Yeah.
Just you're sitting there afterwards, a bit of a daze, and you're like, fuck, that was a good read.
That was Brandon Jacks. I didn't want it to end. I was like,
mate, I'll read
at
more.
the start, I was like, I want to get into good stuff, and then all the good stuff was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't want it to end. Like, I want to hear more. I want to see more.
Come on, give me more.
Yeah.
And I think the other benefit that has too is because I read mostly fiction, which is probably a bit different to most. Well, I know most guys, if they do read.
Yeah.
It'd be something non-fiction or I don't know, self-help or whatever. Which aren't always bad. It's just I don't know. I'm not a big self-help book kind of guy. But those all can also be other avenues. But I think reading fiction it helps you empathise. If there's only one way to live 1,000 lifetimes in your life. Is by becoming a character, by reading a book, embodying the character. Even if you don't entirely relate to everything they have, at least you can empathise inside it. Because all the best characters, you can empathise with in some way, shape or form. Even, some of the greatest villains and stuff too, you can still empathise. That's what probably makes them great villains, is I can actually empathise with you.
Yeah. So you're torn, you can be torn between...
Or I don't entirely think this antagonist is straight cut, cowboy, square jaw, goody two shoes. That's always doing the right thing.
Yeah.
But that also feeds into so many things. Because I think, once you think you can empathise, I think everyone can empathise with our books.
Yeah.
But I think, if you're scared of, I don't know, it's the unknowns, I read a book by Tilly Wallace the other week, who wrote this book. I don't know if she's still working, but she was an ex-prostitute.
Oh.
But mate, I know nothing about that life, and it was a great read.
Yeah.
And it's great to get an understanding of the world, which I had no idea about before.
Yeah.
And next time when someone slags off, they're a bloody prostitute or whatever,
Yeah.
They're not.
Educate yourself with it.
They're just human.
Yeah.
They're just trying to make a buck. They're doing the oldest thing in the book. Things like that. It's like, it really opens up. And that's one character that it sort of, it was a memoir. Or mostly memoir.
You can open yourself up to
a whole, that's a whole subset of society I didn't know about before.
Yeah.
It's like,
that's great.
The whole gay marriage debate. Trans people, and it's just how about read an account, a personal account of those people, and you'd be like, fuck me, that was. If you read a good account, you're like, that was good. I understand a lot more.
Yeah.
I'm not scared.
I'm not scared or threatened. My identity is threatened. Yeah.
You're like, well, fuck me. It'd be so. It's like I struggle to get through life. Imagine being born in the wrong body.
Yeah, literally.
Like, why don't we do everything in our power to help these people get into the right body?
Yeah.
Because guess what? That will just make life. Then they get to my point where I'm also struggling with life.
Yeah.
Everyone is. But imagine doing that.
There's someone on the back foot.
Oh my god.
Like a system with that transition, because they obviously it's a big change. Or it's a big thing that they have to deal with, and everyone around them has to
and it's the
react
ongoing
to the ongoing changes. Just help them out. But
I think you know what, I was going to say more, but I think it's sort of nice actually. I like that I've related it back to books.
Yeah.
I would say read, understand, read, and you finally understand things like mental illnesses better.
Yeah. It's empowerment.
You'll address your own issues.
Yeah.
At least you'll know the options. You'll empathise more with people, and it is in itself an act of meditation. Yeah. Which, guess what, is one of the big things that helps you with my anxiety. Yeah. So I would say, look, any advice coming up? Get into reading. Read fiction. Read everything. Read as much as you can, but read fiction, I would say. mean, my favourite book in the world is The World According to Garp. That's
Garp.
Garp, yeah, G-A-R-P.
Okay.
Like, great writer, John Irving.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's tragic comedy. All the characters are complex. It's just it's one of those reads you go back to time and time again. But so there you go. That's the shout out to John Irving.
Yeah.
Please, John Irving, send me some copies of your book. Yeah, read.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Read.
Oh, well, it's been fucking great.
Oh, it's been a pleasure, mate.
It's been hard
Fantastic.
to get back into doing all of this and
Oh,
getting
man.
everything right. I'm trying to be perfectionist about everything, but
No,
Fuck
you've
yeah.
done a really good job, mate.
this has been great.
This really has been. Yeah, thank you. Keep doing it, mate, because it is a fantastic idea. And I
Thanks,
think,
mate. Cheers.
yeah, this would be perfect on JJJ, we've been saying.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's like they're talking about they got their segments hack and blah blah blah. Put
Yeah.
this on a
Jumping on.
8 o'clock at night or something.
Yeah.
It could be a great thing. Just talk to normal people about that, how they're fucking muddling their way through mental illness.
How they get through life, just mental health, what's happening. Yeah.
It's yeah.
It's empowerment. It's what, like, it's so human. So let's just keep it human.
Keep it human.
Let's go. Thanks for watching. Stay
Thanks, guys.
tuned. Hell yeah, let's go.